All leaders are not readers, but a good reader is a good leader. I've realized one thing common about many of my friends is that they're addicted to gadgets. Hi, I'm Aaradhana Umesh. I'm a 7th grader. I work for the cause Readers Are the Leaders, and I'm a part of Be the Change movement. I love to read books. I read all sorts of books like magazines, newspapers, comic books, fairy tales, fables, and much more. I have always been fascinated by the different characters in each story. One or the other person who I met in my life will remind me of at least one character who I read in a book. For an example, I feel that my cousin has the characteristics of the character Shambhu from the series Tinkle, where my cousin uses his stupid ideas to escape out of rebuking from my aunt. Books have not only entertained me, they've also educated me. From this book, Chanakya in the Classroom, I have learned 6 important life lessons for a student to know. These life lessons include how to create your own timetable, how and what did the kings read in the past, how to prioritize more time for studies, and much more. With all the inspiration of books, I tried my hands in writing my very first book called A Day with Talking Objects. I really love to communicate about books and discuss about the different characters in these books with my friends. But I realized my friends aren't interested in these books. They find books boring. They find gadgets more engrossing than books. And I find them glued to gadgets 24/7. I really wanted to change this perspective of theirs that books are monotonous, which is so not true. I want everyone to read because I strongly believe that reading is the only solution for all the problems out there in the world. One can eradicate ignorance and gain knowledge only by reading books. And books can teach you life lessons which you can use to help yourself and the society. I also believe that the future is in the hands of the next generation. Only if children are educated, that is when we can ameliorate our society. A child who reads will be an adult who thinks. I wanted to change this perspective of theirs, and this is why I started to work for this cause, Readers Are the Leaders. I have been working for this cause for the past 5 years. In these 5 years, I have opened many reading clubs in my apartment, in an activity center, and in a play school. In these reading clubs, we do fun activities like read aloud, storytelling, 1 leader a day, and much more. Many of my friends started gaining interest in reading after attending my reading clubs. I have tied up with 2 schools and have provided reading trackers and storybooks to kids on their annual day. I have also provided reading trackers to more than 80 customers who bought books in YMCA Book Fair. I remember how frightened and nervous I was while distributing these reading trackers. I was just a 3rd grader back then, wearing a cute little hairband, holding my mom's hand, and a bunch of reading trackers. I was telling my mom, "Mommy, can we go home? I don't want to talk to them." But then abruptly, I realized how much efforts my mom and I had put into preparing this campaign. So with the help of my Be the Change friends who came there to support me, I came out of my comfort zone and I started to talk to people and provided them with the reading trackers. In 2018, only during a field trip to a government school, I realized that the lesser privileged children loved to read but didn't have the facility. So I thought, why not I help them? And did you know that among 45,000 government schools in Tamil Nadu, only 45 government schools has very, very small libraries? Yes, I started to set up libraries and I've set up 3 libraries till date. Setting up libraries wasn't a piece of cake. And my target was to set up each library with more than 500 books. First, I used my own pocket money to buy these books. Then I started asking my friends to donate books. Disappointingly, many of my friends didn't donate books, and there wasn't much books to set up a library. I asked my friends why didn't they donate books. Their answer was, "We ourselves don't have books to read because we're not interested in them. Then how are we supposed to give you books?" With a heavy heart, I accepted their reason. I wanted to give up, but thanks to my mom and my mentor Deepa Aathreya, who suggested me to keep going, and they also suggested me to conduct book donation drives in my school, in my apartment, and in my tuition centers. I took their suggestion seriously. In school during recess, I used to go to every single class and ask for books. I also gave frequent reminders to people to donate books. All my hard work resulted in happy faces of the lesser privileged children. I felt more than happy to see them read. During this journey of setting up libraries, I have learned to not give up. Since 2018 on Feb 14, which is World's Book Giving Day, I have been donating books to my domestic helpers' children. In 2020 and 2021, as everyone knows, due to the pandemic situation, I wasn't able to step out of my house. But that didn't stop me from spreading the joy of reading. I launched my own YouTube channel. Launching a YouTube channel wasn't easy too. I started narrating stories. I put in a lot of efforts to prepare, shoot, and edit these stories. Sadly, many people weren't interested in my stories. So I thought out of the box and I started to do cool and fun science experiments, teach effortless ways to bewildering topics such as algebraic formulas, learning the names of Tamil months, and much more. Later, people started to show interest in my videos. I also own an Instagram account called I'm a Word Collector. In this Instagram account, I post beneficial words which can be used in everyday life. I also recommend exuberant storybooks to read. Do follow my accounts. In drawing things to close, I've inspired few kids, and I feel really privileged to say that. I just have one tip from my side to yours, is that a new reader can cultivate his or her reading habit by maintaining a reading tracker and reading for 15 minutes every day. Try to donate at least one book to a lesser privileged child. If you follow this, then I am sure our society will be a lovely place to live. And my dream is to see everyone reading. This is me, Aaradhana, signing off. Together, let's be rich. Jai Hind.